Owning a poodle has to be one of the most joyful, fun-filled, and unpredictable experiences ever. And a huge part of the reason is because they're unlike any other dog breed you've ever owned before. So if you own a poodle or you're thinking about getting one, then this video's for you. These are the 8 things that only poodle parents will truly understand. Oh, and if I left anything out, let me know in the comments below. Number 1. Owning a poodle isn't like owning a dog. Living with a poodle feels more like raising a smart, curious child than caring for a typical dog. The best way I can explain this is that, yes, although they're technically dogs, their high intelligence makes them seem almost more human than dog. It's just one of those things you can't really explain until you actually own one of these dogs. Poodles grasp things quickly and can even seem to outsmart their owners at times. However, what makes them human-like is that they're so intuitive. They'll know your habits, your mannerisms, and also instinctively understand when you're feeling down. And the best part? They even know exactly how to cheer you up. In fact, one poodle owner said, "The one thing I've noticed about poodles that's unusual is when fully grown, they act like a 3-year-old human kid, not like a dog. They develop very distinct personalities and are adept at communicating." Another reason why raising a poodle feels like raising a child is because they're scary good at communicating with you. Unlike other dogs, poodles will communicate through soft noises, facial expressions, body posture, and other interesting behaviors. They're just so different from any other dogs I've owned in the past. And if you bring one home, you'll understand too. Number 2. The poodle's side eye is both hilarious and amazing. Ever caught a dog giving you that famous side eye? It's both amusing and amazing, making you wonder if they're judging your every move. The funny thing is that poodles are masters of this expression, which often seems to convey a mix of curiosity, skepticism, and pure sass. It's as if they're silently saying, "Really? You're going with that outfit?" Or, "You seriously think I'm gonna fetch that?" One poodle owner jokes, "Oh lordy yes, my girl has perfected the 'this is unacceptable, I want to speak to the manager' side eye." If your poodle's tired and wants to go to bed, he might give you the side eye to show his disapproval of you staying up. Or when the kids are getting overly rowdy, you'll probably get a side-eye glance from your poodle too. This quirky behavior is part of their charm. But why do they do this? Poodles are incredibly expressive dogs, and their side-eye adds a touch of comedy to everyday life. They're ultra-perceptive and always aware of their surroundings, often picking up on things we might miss. This keen observation skill is why they seem so in tune with their owners, reacting to our moods and actions with uncanny accuracy. And while this behavior isn't exclusive to poodles, I'm pretty sure the side eye has become a poodle trademark. Number 3. The poodle's range of vocalizations is unmatched. When you think of a talkative dog, you might imagine a husky or maybe even a beagle. However, poodles might have one of the widest range of vocalizations in the canine kingdom. But don't worry, it's not all going to be barking. They'll groan, they'll whine, they'll huff, and they'll even grumble. In fact, one poodle owner said, "My standard just turned 1 and I agree, dude has a lot to say. Sometimes it's wolves, sometimes it's size. The dude is so dramatic. But I can't put into words how much we love him." These clever canines can even make sounds that resemble human speech. Some say you've never owned a poodle until you've had a conversation with a poodle. However, each vocalization has its own meaning that's unique to your dog. That's something you'll need to figure out for yourself. For example, a high-pitched yip might signal excitement, while a soft whine can indicate they need something, like a treat or a belly rub. Some poodles even seem to mimic words, making it feel like you're talking to a furry friend who truly understands you. Their vocal repertoire is a reflection of their intelligence and eagerness to communicate. It's not just entertaining, but also a way for poodles to connect with their humans and express their needs, emotions, and opinions. And yes, they have opinions. Which leads me to my next point. Number 4. Poodles have strong opinions. Believe it or not, but poodles have very strong opinions on just about everything, and they won't be shy about sharing their opinions either. These intelligent dogs are constantly learning, watching, and strategizing, making them incredibly perceptive and opinionated. One owner described it perfectly. It's really like having a family member who is nonverbal yet constantly communicating. They're so dialed into their people and their pack that it feels like they're always expressing their thoughts, whether it's about their favorite toy, preferred walking route, or even their choice of lounging spot. Poodles will make their preferences known. In fact, some poodles might even give you that famous side eye or use their extensive range of vocalization to get their point across. You might find yourself negotiating with your poodle, trying to reach a compromise that satisfies their discerning tastes. But isn't this what makes the experience of owning a poodle so fun and unique? Living with them is like having a wise, opinionated friend who's always there, adding depth and humor to your everyday experiences. Number 5. There's an air of superiority with a poodle. If there's one thing that sets poodles apart from other breeds, it's their undeniable air of superiority, but in a good way. These dogs carry themselves with a grace and confidence that often borders on snobbishness. You know that bounce in a poodle step? It's kind of like a self-confident prance, where they flick their paws. Well, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Despite their occasional goofiness, uncoordinated antics, and silly moments, poodles somehow manage to exude an aura of being above it all. They just seem to think they're smarter and better than everyone else. And to be honest, it's kinda true. However, this superior attitude is part of what makes them so charming and amusing. Even when they're caught in a clumsy tumble or engaged in a playful frolic, they recover with a dignity that says, "Oh, I meant to do that." And while their confidence can make them seem aloof at times, especially to other dogs and strangers, just understand that it's all part of their unique personality. Number 6. A poodle will do whatever it takes to make you laugh. Nearly all poodles will have wacky and weird behaviors that are unique to them. And more often than not, they'll make you laugh out loud. But that was exactly what the dog was trying to do. Sorry to say, there's probably no special meaning other than that. These furry comedians are always ready to turn an ordinary moment into a burst of laughter. They might do a funny dance, roll around in exaggerated motions, or use their expressive faces to convey the most hilarious expressions. It's almost as if they studied the art of comedy and are now putting on a show just for you. For example, one poodle owner said, "It's so funny because sometimes he'll put his head and neck real low while standing and just look up at us with his eyes. He'll sometimes also let out a bark. It's almost like he's mocking us." The key to this dog's bizarre behavior is that it makes the owners laugh. Their poodle has found a way of communicating with them that'll make them happy. So naturally, the dog continues to do this and will even increase this behavior over time. When the owners are happy, you can expect the poodle to be happy too. It's quite clever, which of course isn't all that surprising coming from such an intelligent breed. This laughter and attention is enjoyable for both owner and dog, while helping build the bond between the two. Number 7. Poodles work smarter, not harder. Poodles are the epitome of the saying, "work smarter, not harder." These brainy dogs have an uncanny ability to figure out the most efficient way to accomplish a task, often leaving their owners in awe of their cleverness. Rather than relying on brute force or endless repetition, poodles use their sharp minds to solve problems and navigate challenges with ease. For instance, if a poodle wants a toy that's out of reach, they won't waste energy jumping repeatedly. Instead, they'll quickly assess the situation and come up with a strategic plan, perhaps using a nearby object to knock it down or signaling to you for assistance with those expressive eyes. One owner chimed in saying, "My poodle cheats at these puzzles and tasks. Instead of doing the thing as intended, he always finds a way to game the system." It's kind of like having a furry little engineer genius in your home. Their knack for efficiency extends to training and learning new commands as well. Poodles pick up new skills rapidly and often figure out mental shortcuts that other dogs might miss. That said, this intelligence makes them exceptional at tasks that require thought and precision, from agility courses to advanced tricks. Number 8. Poodles can sometimes be a little too sensitive. Ever noticed how your poodle can go from happy-go-lucky to sulking in a corner with just one wrong word? Poodles can sometimes be a little too sensitive. Like that one friend who takes every comment to heart, even if it's meant as a joke. They pick up on your emotions like a radar, and sometimes even the slightest change in your tone can make them feel like they've done something wrong. It's not that they're fragile, but they do tend to take things to heart more than other breeds. One poodle owner said, "She's easily overwhelmed and doesn't know what to do with her feelings. She doesn't like it when I'm upset, especially with her, and she tends to shut down if I raise my voice or I'm disappointed with her. On the other hand, you clearly see that she's happy when I'm proud of her and tell her so." This sensitivity also means they're incredibly in tune with your feelings, often offering comfort when you're down. However, it can also mean they're quick to pick up on any tension or stress in the household. So if you're having a bad day, don't be surprised if your poodle suddenly seems extra clingy or distant. They're just trying to process what's going on in their own way. Hey, if you enjoyed this, you'll probably love this video here. And if you hit subscribe, I'll donate a meal to a rescue dog on your behalf.